shiny out here, isn't it? Everyone happy? Excellent. Well, the Palaszczuk and Albanese governments continue to invest in new and upgraded roads and infrastructure right across Queensland because it creates jobs, it makes Queensland an even better place to live. It makes it easier and faster and cheaper to get freight and produce to markets, and it makes it faster for people to get around. And no road is more important to Queensland than the Bruce Highway. Yesterday, the Prime Minister and I inspected early works on the Rockhampton Ring Road, and today the Main Roads Minister and I and our fantastic member for Maryborough Bruce Saunders are here to check out the completed 11-kilometre section from Maryborough to Torbanlea. The Saltwater Creek upgrade is completed a year ahead of schedule, meaning that locals and visitors can experience and benefit from this fantastic road even sooner than we thought they would. I want to congratulate TMR and the Minister on a fantastic effort, the contractor and all of the workers. You know, it's hard work building these roads, but we really do appreciate their efforts. I'll go to Mark and then Bruce.
Thanks so much, Stephen. Great to be here with the Acting Premier and Bruce Saunders, our Assistant Minister for Train Manufacturing and Regional Roads, and very, very strong advocate for the electorate of Maryborough. This project has been a fantastic outcome. $103 million in joint funding from the state and federal governments, finished 1 year early, and this means a much better flood immunity for the Bruce Highway, which is not just good for our freight and our motorists that use the Bruce Highway, but of course we're building a train manufacturing facility not too far away at Torbanlea, and this will mean a stronger road network to support Queensland-made trains here by Queensland workers for Queenslanders. I want to thank Bruce Saunders for all of his advocacy on this project. We saw this piece of highway shut for 31 days back in the floods in 2013. This project's seen a huge increase in flood immunity, much higher, totally rebuilt bridges at a much higher level, and what we'll see is that this road is much more resilient during extreme weather events, which everybody in the Hervey Bay Maryborough region I know will welcome. And the fact that it's finished 1 year early just shows what a great job our staff at Transport and Main Roads and at Giorgio, who are the contractors who did this job, have done on this project. We've already had truckies tooting us all morning here as we've been preparing for this press conference, because they know that this is a fantastic project. Can I just also say, you know, we saw 2 days ago the LNP leader David Crisafulli say that no project would be on time or on budget under the Palaszczuk government. 2 days later, we're opening a Bruce Highway upgrade that's on budget and a year early. So what I say to the LNP is put that in your pipe and smoke it, because we see constantly delivering projects early and on budget. Whether it's the Bruce Highway upgrade at Horton River below Townsville, $100 million saving on that and opened early, Boundary Road interchange early, M1 upgrade at the merge early, light rail stage 2 early, Sumners Road interchange 6 months early. We're seeing very good outcomes on infrastructure. Because this government's committed to the road and rail infrastructure we need for a growing population, and there was never any risk of a budget blowout under David Crisafulli and Campbell Newman, because they didn't build any infrastructure other than their big skyscraper to themselves. So great pleasure to be here for the opening, the official opening of this project a year early, and I'll hand over to Bruce Saunders, who I often call Bitumen Bruce because he gets so much bitumen upgraded around his electorate. He is a phenomenal advocate on behalf of the electorate of Maryborough. Bruce.
Thanks, Mark. I'd also like to acknowledge the Acting Premier, Stephen Miles, Mark Bailey, Transport Main Roads Minister. It's great to be here today. This is 12 months in advance, and look, TMR and Giorgio have done a tremendous job considering There was a lot of rain events during this construction of this road. I believe it's one of the best pieces of road you'll ever drive on. It is fantastic. And working with TMR and working with the contractors during this construction phase of the road has been absolutely magnificent. And this is what you get when you get a good department, a good minister, working with the federal government, and the Albanese government now that's interested in Queensland. They're not putting all the money into New South Wales, they're actually spending money in Queensland again. So it's great to work with a federal government who's got Queenslanders' interest at heart, to work with a department and a minister who's got Queensland's interest at heart. And this road is fantastic. The entrance and the exit now to Aldershot have been improved greatly. This is one of a suburb that's got 1,200 people in the Maryborough electorate, so it was very unsafe. Now it's safe. The road's flood-proof. It's a brilliant piece of road. The TMR crew have done an amazing job working with the contractor, and this is what you get when you get a good government and you get good organisations like TMR and Giorgio working together for the benefit of all road users. It's a pleasure to drive on this road. I drive on it up to 5 to 6 times per week myself, and I can just say I'm very proud to say that this road is in the Maryborough electorate, and it's going to the new train manufacturing facility at Torbanlea. So it'll make it safer for not only for the workers but also for people who are delivering products for the new trains. The trains that will be made in Queenslanders for Queensland. And we're going to have a road that's built by Queenslanders. A lot of workers locally will use subcontractors on this road, and we're going to have trains taking the road to the factory for trains made in Queensland by Queenslanders.
Well done. I'm happy to take the question.
It is surprising given, I guess, all of the material shortages, staff shortages that we face to have this road be completed a year early. Is that surprising?
Oh, it's a fantastic effort and it's a fantastic outcome, and it's a credit to everyone involved that they've been able to deliver this road, not just on time, but nearly a year early and on budget.
And I suppose 1 year on from the floods as well, it emphasises the importance of, good flood infrastructure.
Well, exactly, that's right. While we've been fortunate not to experience those kinds of severe weather events so far this season, if we had of, this road would have been now ready, more resilient, so that we didn't have to be out of action for that period of time. And of course, we will see future floods, whether it's this season, next season, the season after it, and the road will be here ready to serve the community.
There are 55 other projects on the Bruce Highway across Queensland underway at the moment. I guess, are they on track? Do we know what's next?
We're seeing a massive investment, I think $15 billion across the...
13 billion over 15 years.
$13 billion across the Bruce Highway, a long-term plan to keep investing in it. It is the most important road in the state, critical to just about every community along the coast, and so we'll continue to invest in those projects. I might allow the Minister to just go to the detail of the...
Yeah, thanks very much, Stephen. We do indeed have 55 projects underway on the Bruce Highway, which I think is a record. Compare and contrast that with the 4 projects that happened under Campbell Newman and David Crisafulli, and 2 of those were desktop studies. So we're getting a lot of bitumen, a lot of upgrades. The flood immunity is improving all the time on the Bruce, whether it's the Horton River floodplain, Saltwater Creek here, or the Gympie bypass, where the flood resilience is increasing massively under our government, and that's what people want to see on the Bruce Highway.
And they do want it out region as well as the Tyro bypass. How's that?
Yeah, look, that's still in planning at this stage, but it is part of the Bruce Highway plan. So, we look forward to that coming online and getting into detailed design. There'll be further consultation on that. There's been a lot of upgrades south of there, of course, and I think that section on the way to Sunshine Coast, at the back of the Sunshine Coast, that was a very dangerous section that's now been fixed up to a very safe standard. So we'll continue that program, and the Tyro bypass is locked in. Look, I'll come back to you with details on that, but the decision on Tyro, of course, was relatively recent in the last 12 months, so there's a process there around the planning of it, and then we go to detailed design where we involve the community. So there's a little bit of work to go yet. There's a lot of geotechnical, a lot of engineering work that goes with planning a highway. I know Bruce Saunders is a big supporter of the Tyro bypass, and I know he'll be very involved with the community in terms of making sure they have input into it. But again, whether it's Tanana Interchange, Saltwater Creek, Tyro bypass Bruce Saunders' record of delivering on the Bruce by Bruce. It's pretty good. Yep.
Thank you more for that.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Might just switch lanes to health now. The Gladstone and Billawheeler hospitals have both been on a fair bit of bypass for a few months. Is it time for another maternity summit to address the baby abortion crisis in Queensland?
The challenge there continues to be attracting the specialists needed to provide the full range of services. I know that the HHS and Queensland Health continue to actively seek to recruit those staff because they want to deliver those services.
Other than recruiting, then what else is the Queensland government doing to address the crisis?
Well, that's the main problem. I mean, the problem is getting the staff that can deliver the service, and so they'll continue to endeavour to recruit those staff because we want to make sure those communities have the health services that they deserve.
Yeah, and just one for the Gabba. Yesterday, the Prime Minister was asked on radio if the 2032 Games infrastructure funding will be 50-50 between the state and federal governments. He said the Commonwealth would make a positive contribution. Are you confident that the federal government will come to the table with 50%?
I am confident, that commitment was made by the previous government to the International Olympic Committee. It was a commitment made by both governments to share the funding of the Olympics venues. And so we're certainly working on the basis that the intergovernmental agreement that we will negotiate with the Australian government will provide that fair contribution. As I've said repeatedly, we're working very hard to finalise the details of that. Officials are meeting all day today and again all day tomorrow, and then there's further meetings next week. So it's been slightly delayed. It's a few weeks later than we expected, but we certainly expect to have that agreement finalised very soon.
The White Bay Hospital and Health Service performance ranking has dropped from 1, which was excellent, to 3, which is unsatisfactory. Are there any concerns about that?
Is that the management performance rankings that were reported last week? Yeah. So that's an internal management tool used by Queensland Health to determine how much support the central office, Queensland Health, has to provide to the HHS. It's not a measure of the services delivered to the community. It's more about financial performance, budgeting, and that kind of thing. As you have management turnover and changes in personnel, often that will result in the need to provide additional support to those folk, and that's what Queensland Health does. That's the purpose of that ranking system, and it's designed to help them to develop to get better. And while many of the HHSs were trending upwards in that data that was released last week, it's no surprise that some might get rated more lowly. They will then get those additional services, and as they build back up their expertise and skills, their performance ranking will improve. Everyone happy?
All good.
Thank you.